welcome to the Courageous Self-Care Podcast. I'm your host, Christina Marlette. On this podcast, we get into self-care that goes beyond bubble baths, chocolate, and wine. It goes beyond the spa. It goes beyond nutrition. It goes beyond exercise. It goes in and deep. It can get uncomfortable. Often we need a guide because we don't know what we don't know. And the promise is that it will transform your life. I am so grateful that you are here today taking this time. This is an act of courageous self-care to listen to something that's going to uplift you rather than something that's going to bring you down. Today we're going to be talking about foundation number 3 of courageous self-care, which is how to grow your gratitude. We've talked about a number of different gratitude action steps. Today is a big day, because this is going to be about finding those gratitude secrets that will help you get through any situation. Sounds juicy, right? Let's get into it. So first of all, we've been talking about how to practice gratitude when it's easy. It's easy to be grateful when someone gives you a check. It's easy to be grateful when you get a gift. It's easy to be grateful when you're in a nice hot shower. It's easy to be grateful in all sorts of different situations. But what about when we have those challenges? That is the next step, the next level of gratitude. It is being grateful and finding gratitude when it is hard. Oh, I just realized that I didn't tell you that I have a gift for you at the end of the show, so be sure to stick around. Okay, now I told you. So what do we do when we're going through challenges and it is not so easy to be grateful? Why would we even want to be grateful for the hard stuff? It's a simple principle. What we focus on expands. Where you put your attention and where you put your focus, you're going to bring more of that to you. It's that good old law of attraction at work too. So although we'd like to attract all the good all the time, that's not how life works. And so when we are complaining, when we find those challenges and then we let our thoughts go there and our words go there, we're going to find that negative energy that we're putting towards it expands, and the problem and the situation and the circumstances can get worse and worse and worse. And so what we want to do is not focus on the problem aspect of it. We want to focus on finding the gratitude in the challenge. Woo, that can be a challenge in itself. So here's how I learned about this practice called outrageous gratitude. I had been working on growing my gratitude for a couple of years, and I spent a good part of my day actively focusing on being in gratitude. And then I was on a coaching call with one of my mentors, and she said, she's very intuitive. She said, I'm getting a download here that you could add more gratitude into your day. And I thought to myself, are you kidding me? I am already doing so many gratitude practices. How could there possibly be anything else that I could do? And so what she said was, I didn't say that out loud, I was just thinking it. But she carried on and she said, what I'm feeling like would be useful for you and me is to have an outrageous gratitude challenge. So here's what we'll do. Every time we have a challenge, we'll sit down and write each other an email and find all the reasons to be grateful for that challenge. And I said, okay, of course, I would love to do that. And not too long afterwards, a challenge presented itself to me. Now, this wasn't a gigantic challenge, but it certainly did help me find how to be grateful in any situation. So my family and I had gone on holiday. We were in this little mountain town near us called Canmore in the Rocky Mountains. And about a week after we got home, after a lovely holiday, I opened the mailbox and there was a speeding ticket. And I was not happy because it was my husband that got it. And he should have known better, I thought to myself. So I realized, oh, okay, this is an opportunity to practice that outrageous gratitude. I didn't want to focus on how annoyed I was and how we were going to have to spend money on something that we didn't really get anything for. So I opened my email and started crafting this message to my mentor, talking about all the reasons why I was going to be grateful for this speeding ticket. And I wrote them all down. I'll share some of them with you in a moment. To my surprise, by the end of writing that email, I really did feel grateful for that speeding ticket. It had completely shifted my experience. So here are some of the things that I wrote down. I thought, well, I am grateful that we got to go on holidays and that we were in this town and we had such a wonderful time. So grateful for the holiday. And then I thought, I'm actually grateful that my husband and I were having such an engaging conversation that neither of us noticed the playground zone. That made it an expensive ticket. Speeding through a playground zone isn't the way to go. However, I thought, well, we were having this conversation, we were really connecting. And so I'm grateful that we have the kind of relationship that we can be, even after 19 years of marriage, or 18 at the time, I guess, we are still so connected to each other. I'm so grateful for that. Even now, that makes me feel grateful. And then the next one I wrote was, I was really accessing my creativity. So why else could I possibly be grateful for a speeding ticket? Well, I'm grateful that there is this fantastic playground that was the reason for this playground zone. And my kids love playing at that playground, and they've been doing that ever since they were little. And I've watched them kind of grow up as we periodically go to this playground. So I'm very grateful that there is that playground zone. And the reason behind it is the playground. And then, really stretching, I also thought, I'm grateful to be able to give a donation, let's call it a donation, to the Canmore Police Force, because they are doing a great job of keeping it a very safe community. So I'm grateful to give this money to the police force. So you can see how shifting from complaining about the speeding ticket and getting upset with my husband, I didn't allow myself to go there. I wanted to see what it would be like to be in this outrageous gratitude. And as I mentioned before, after writing this email, I felt so happy. And it was a great opportunity to reflect on what I normally would have complained about or felt this negative energy around. So that is how you practice outrageous gratitude. The 3 simple steps are: notice that you're having a challenge. That's step number 1. Step number 2 is making a decision to practice outrageous gratitude. And step number 3 is to physically write down why you're grateful within that challenge. And what we're really doing is getting into the emotion of it. And being able to shift our emotional state is very powerful. It's a masterful practice. So the most important time to practice gratitude is when you feel like there's nothing to be grateful for. The reason we do that is because what we focus on expands. And after that, we haven't gotten a speeding ticket since. So I didn't focus on the negative part of it. I focused on what I did have control over, which was my reaction. That is what I wanted to share with you today about gratitude. I hope it was helpful. I also have a gift to share with you on my website, which is ChristinaMarlett.com. That's Christina with a CH. Marlett is Marlett. I have a self-care checklist for you. I encourage you to go get that. Why? Because it's not just a checklist. I spent quite a long time on it, making it beautiful and also turning it into a teaching. There are so many different aspects of courageous self-care. And so this one, it gives you step-by-step on how you can start to incorporate some of those aspects into your day so that you are practicing self-care that makes a tremendous difference. So I encourage you to go get that gift. The self-care checklist, it's right on the home page, and you can get that there. If you enjoyed this episode, I would love for you to like it, leave a comment, share it with your friends. If you're listening to the podcast, you can become a follower or subscribe. If you are watching on the YouTube channel, go ahead and subscribe to that so you'll receive notifications of when the next podcast is ready. I'm here Monday through Friday. And the YouTube channel is called the Courageous Self-Care Channel. I'll leave you with a final thought. There's nothing selfish about self-care. When you have the courage to overcome those thoughts that are making you feel guilty about taking care of yourself, what you will find is that you'll have a triple effect. The first one is that you will feel better. The second one is that everyone in your immediate circle will benefit from you feeling better. And the third is that energetically, when one woman takes a stand to prioritize her own well-being, sends a ripple out into the rest of the world, and other women start to feel that courage so that they can too start practicing courageous self-care. Imagine a world where we all prioritize our own well-being so that we are whole, fulfilled, happy, and contented people. Oh my gosh, can you imagine how much better our relationships would be? That is my vision. I am so grateful that you took time to listen. I look forward to connecting with you again soon. Bye-bye for now.